Hey, so you are about to engage with the first part, the introduction to an essay on suffering. Now, many YouTube videos out there include, how to get rich quick schemes and how to get out of your misery instantaneously, 10 tips. And this is not one of those videos. This video does require your attention. And so what I've done is I've created a way to actually read it along with listening to me speaking the words so that you can engage with multiple sensory modalities. All of this helps you gain a greater depth of understanding. So you can actually click the link in the description below and it will take you to my website to get access to a written version of the essay itself. I highly recommend it, and then listen to them one after the other. Introduction, part 1, part 2, part 3. Otherwise, when you finish the essay, I would love to hear your feedback, like what resonated, what was confusing, what was like a hell no, you're not telling the truth here, Ethan. All this helps me become a better writer and just helps stimulate growth in all of our minds. So with that, enjoy. I hope you get a lot out of it, and we'll talk soon. Bye. Over the last 10 days, I spent over 100 hours with legs crossed and eyes closed. No speaking, no reading, no writing, no technology, no distractions. Wake up at 4 a.m., sleep at 9 p.m. 2 meals a day, one at 6:30 and another at 11. Do your best to remain aware of bodily experience at all times. More than half of these hours were spent sitting alone in a meditation cell. A meditation cell, if you're unfamiliar, is a more charming way of saying small, pitch black closet. How small? 3 feet by 3 feet, give or take. Barely enough room for a bum and a cushion. Besides a blanket to comfort yourself with, the most exciting thing about the space was a speaker on the ceiling corner from which an old Indian man with a thick accent repeated instructions for how to practice Vipassana meditation. Start again. Sweep your attention from head to toes, toes to head. Begin with the truth of anicca. This too shall change. Observe reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Know me. No mine. If you're currently picturing a miserable young man sitting in the dark, legs tucked in an upright fetal position, you have the right idea. This was effectively solitary confinement, our justice system's most malevolent idea for criminal retribution. God forbid anyone be truly alone with themselves for any significant amount of time. Granted, this was voluntary and thus can't technically be described as punishment, but when you spend that much time being tricked by your own mind, it doesn't take much to convince you of damnation. That these 10 days are retribution for your accumulated sins. That somehow, some way, God really is punishing you. Now, why would anyone do this to themselves? A lot of reasons, honestly. Curiosity, desperation, maybe a little bit of masochism. The main one, though, for me at least, would be to find out why one suffers. How does unhappiness work? What are the mechanics of misery? And why would it be helpful to know that? Because if you truly understand the root cause of your suffering, then you're just one step closer to its solution. Stop the cause, stop the effect. How elegant and simple it sounds on this recording, but how painful and arduous it is to put into practice. But that's why this particular experiment can be so illuminating. Take away almost all pleasures and distractions for 240 hours straight, gather as much raw unhappiness data as possible, objectively analyze the information for patterns, and then triangulate on an explanation for your misery. Now, luckily, I wasn't starting these tests from scratch. I had a lot of help.
Seekers have been exploring the nature of suffering for millennia, perhaps longer. And some of them, most notably Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, have had the compassion to freely share their findings with the world. Unfortunately, just reading their lab report isn't enough. As you'll soon find out, it's impossible to intellectualize your way to peace, happiness, and enlightenment. You must put in the work. The best these brave and wise trailblazers can do is to provide you with hypotheses. The rest is up to you. Run the experiments, find out what's true, dump the rest. With that, allow me to share some of their hypotheses with you. Welcome to this train of thought.